Welcome back to Comic Studio, and today we're going to be searching for the news Comic Studio. So, as I'm going to be for something like this, let's go for the news around here in Roblox around here. But that says around here for this for a little bit amount of time. So, as I searching for like anything about the news, is what I going to search in the studio crossovers, but that must be for some kind of like here, and there is no game in Comic Studio around here for some sort of like this. This is absolutely for some kind of like here, the CS News, or whatever it is. So, I'm gonna be going for the oldest and search here for the CS News. Totally Real News Comic Studio could be exactly that I wasn't able to looking for. So as you can see, let's get right here to CS News Comic Studio. As we probably gonna be seeing this for a little bit amount of time, I absolutely not gonna be using for the dark mode as well. As you'll see, this is absolutely owned by Voidbug. Boston Celtics share, or no, I'm not very sure. This is actually going to be showing up for some spoilers, but probably look like anything about here. Especially there is absolutely for weapon and television as well, radios, microphone, and anything by itself like foods, drinks, and stuff, not like plushies or anything as well. And finally, the backgrounds around here is the CS News, but nothing looked like anything as probably as well. As you could see, the beautiful side as well from Italy. So I definitely already seen this by what I just remember last year. So I wasn't able to be added anything as well, and because this is actually one thing that is just going to be adding. Now it comes from Totally Real News Comic Studio. So we got absolutely two links over here, but I cannot believe it was owned by themselves for Syrupy Jackie Moo 101 for the cookies and like anything as well, and probably like anything beyond itself. It was beyond the news. As for these times, is a little bit for something else. So there is completely more around here for about the breaking news stuff. So I absolutely going to be finding a little bit more, and because this is eventually nothing 1 a.m. in the morning, so in the CS News around here, not without further ado, so this is actually not for more stuff over here. It's nothing probably on television that what anything it goes to be. The real news around here is actually all the comic creators that isn't going to be for around here. The Phantom News Comic Studio, I'm not going to be looking around here for a long time. And there's no Game Comic Studio for around here. That must be the logo, of course. But I'm pretty sure this isn't going to be for around here. And throughout the news, that is actually says what we call the news. So, of course, we're going to be telling about for the news as well. And for Grand Touring Story for around here for something as well. This is absolutely going to be for trying to do this as well. But you know what we call the news that says as well. After this is absolutely watching for a while for it to do this as well. During 6 p.m. at evening, the news is on its way that finally came to broadcast themselves that tell about the story, what's going to be very tragic and very shocking misery as well. I'm not very sure this wasn't for children anymore for around here for somewhere else. And because of this one moment that we never waiting for around for these age restrictions of ice, and that what absolutely going to be saying is for real news for some sort of like even to say as well, and what we call them the news. I'm sure this wasn't going to be for even as possible for to do this as well. And so I won't be able to be added for some kind of misery as well, as we can't able to be looking around for some little bit possibilities like this. And so we shouldn't actually going to be for the use like anybody itself. So I'm using for the real breaking rules, I mean the breaking news around here. So this is actually going to be making for the episode 1 that says breaking news. A road citizen has been caught committing a terrible crime. Yep, I definitely show what is absolutely to be. As I'm making up the part 1 about the village news, this is absolutely not going to be real, but this is actually going to be on Comic Studio, and this is absolutely before the beginning of this way. You wouldn't absolutely be confused as well for something as well. So, it's not being sometimes as well that is not going to be looking around here for. So, as you can see for the Rogue Citizen, I didn't have any videos or screenshots about here. So, I just absolutely gotta be screenshotting for this thing as well. And says around here, and says villager number 9 is on the scene. But I'm not sure, there are no cookies that I wasn't able to add for like anything as well. And it says around for villager news. So that doesn't going to be for without being further ado for around here this sense. So this is a villager from Minecraft, and then that goes on television that I didn't mention to see this what it's for. I should have been able to turn off the captions as well. You seeing this, it was probably the scene around as well from the element animation. But thankfully, this is absolutely pretty good and feels making me nostalgic. Nothing a little bit wrong with the animation, but this is absolutely quite fully that you remember around here for something. Should have been able to recreate something behind the scenes of the villager news. This does not real happens in Comic Studio. And before, this is absolutely going to be says around here. This is absolutely a little bit amount of bloopers, of course, that we didn't absolutely wanted to say. And of course, that it says, does my mustache look right? Hey, something is absolutely humming around in the distance, or like anything in the background like this. And finally, the news starts, and says, breaking news! A road citizen has been caught committing a terrible crime. That villager number 9 is on the scene. Oh yes, that I just did that already. That I probably added for pretty sure about the villager news. So, the background finally appears then, and says new news from Hot Wheels City. Especially there must be 2 Hot Wheels Camaro police cars, including right behind the pursuit car is over here for just like says, new news! Creatures have been spotted in Hot Wheels City. They're stealing all the parts and fuel, but for what? Well, I shouldn't absolutely added for something yet. And I didn't totally added for snake fruit cookie, or what I'm not gonna be possible to do. So I'm not asking what to say. I'm shouldn't absolutely gonna be better without further ado that she wasn't gonna be able to say for this. So I bet that one follower is actually going to be itself stealing all the parts and fuel isn't going to be that real. If it's that's real, for without further ado, we didn't see in the first episode of Hot Wheels City. So not right over here. We can't see any players that appears to add. It take longer than unusual that I should be going to be taking themselves. So she commands, like when anything is going to be out to get themselves. There are snake cookies, but I absolutely didn't going to be new. I knew this is absolutely necessary about the cookies. And so she was completely apprehended by police. So this is not going to be that I just going to see this anyway as well. And the sheriff is on the case. As of later on, it was finally caught a red hand on it, and it was taken away that they came from. Yes, that snake cookie was being arrested by the Black Mesa police force, or the security forces like themselves. unless that especially Officer Barry Cookie have apprehended around for the snake cookie as well. Sometimes she was probably afraid to do this, so she has been caught by NYPD or a sheriff, so a snake wasn't gonna be pretty happen as well. So she was detained, especially the snakes that I never able to be mentioned about it. Sometimes that I won't add anything, but I'm sorry for the delay for some kind of taking for a lot of time as well. And because of that, I just put coffee candy cookie around here. And remember, that doesn't gonna be actually going to fit the news as well. Pretend she was an adult, but I'm probably very sure this is actually going to be for one thing itself. Their snake cookies are anyway like these, but I wouldn't believe that the officers have been arrived and apprehended her as well. Must be from the kingdom, and these two from the oven break. She was apprehended away by Black Mesa police personnel. The guns drawn around here beyond those police cars as well. I cannot believe this is actually not the greatest over here. But right here, I recreate the village news from Element Animation. And this is actually that says, does the mustache look right? Oh yes, this is going to be for exactly what it came from. But unfortunately, I wouldn't add anything around here about the rogue citizen over here. So I cannot believe that I wasn't able to add anything as well. And that I just searched Law by Mike. I'm not very sure that the rogue citizen would be Roguefort Cookie. I know that was I going to do. So if I'm gonna be pleased that I should to add a Roguefort Cookie, I wouldn't believe that we're gonna be seeing this all the way down here, as I already found was probably him. So this is actually Roguefort Cookie. And this should be going to be what happens next. Is evil that he just escaped from the prison, or the Hades vault, or the Pandora's vault, like, even though that this is not gonna be going to be amazing around here. So this is Roguefort Cookie, and probably like the villager news, I forgot to put this mustache or like anything as well. I forgot to put his mustache on, because I never pretend it could actually be like the villager number 4. So anyways, that I didn't fulfill to turn as anyways to do so, but the entire background was filled with news as well. In the backgrounds that I seen this, it could be for the Fox News studio. It was just right over here. And that will be the end of this video for sure as well. And I probably that wouldn't admit like anything it was that to get my video down or like anything else in my channel. So if you haven't going to be searching around here for sometimes as well, the 2 links are going to be in the description below. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find anything about the news of the comic studio. So that will be it as I try to find out. If this is absolutely already still in the link in the description around here, I still managed to find like anything else. So that will be it, and that's the end of this video. Hopefully I'm gonna be see you many lads and comic studio users all later, and I'll talk to you like that I probably should that I already said. I'll sign off by the way, and that will be it as literally possible. So to the next time back in comic studio, like whenever it goes. So thanks for watching, and hopefully that wouldn't admit to do so.